What up, YouTube? We back with another video. Today we're gonna be watching a just pearly things clip. You know what I'm saying? Something short and quick. Honestly, something random I just clicked on and I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna react to something for y'all real quick. It's Nick Fuentes. He's giving a crazy rant on masculinity. So let's see what he got to say.
On it, but that is exactly what they want. I mean, they 100%. Everyone knows it. I mean, because girls will say that's part of the sickness.
I hate that guy.
Yep, they pretend like they.
I ain't even gonna lie, off rip. That coat hard. I fuck with the coat. I just wanted to say that real quick. You know what I mean? We're gonna get right back to it.
They want the simp or the beta orbiter.
Okay, there's a certain. Okay, you know who it is. Okay, they had that falling out on the show. You know who?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were like, I don't know if they hooked up after, but yeah. And I'm just like, and she always is talking about how much she hates him, this, and this. And I'm like, I saw y'all after the show. You were all over him. So how are you going to say you?
What do you always say? Love is closer to hate.
Yeah.
It's a thin line between love and hate. That's what they say.
Both strong emotions.
Yeah, and that you find that everybody knows that. I feel like everybody knows that.
One more quick thing. People say they hate people, but if you hate someone, there has to be a part of you that like either loves them or still loves them. You know what I mean? So, love and hate is a fine line between that. But if you really truly hate someone uh as they, you know what I'm saying, as they say what they really mean, you know what I mean, you would be like indifferent towards them. Like you wouldn't care about them at all, like, or their existence. You feel me? Like you would you would you would look at them as a stranger, you feel me, if you really felt that way. But if you hate someone, there's kind of like, I think, a part of you that still has like some type of love or some feelings towards that person, you know what I mean? So if you really hate someone, then you would just be indifferent towards them and kind of like ignore their existence, you feel me?
Like I was going to say the other night on the show, maybe you guys aren't going to like this, but I feel like this is true. You know, so I'll just say full disclosure. We talked about like abuse or whatever, and I think that's wrong, okay? But here's the thing. As much as women say against women, I feel like if a woman knows that a man is not capable of against her, she knows for a fact he would never raise a hand. There's not even uncertainty. You know, she just knows he's not that kind of guy. I feel like she doesn't like that. I feel like a woman wants a guy who she, on some level, is like physically afraid of.
You don't want him to beat up you, but
right.
Like you want him to be able to beat up. You know, you want a guy that can beat up somebody, Gabby.
Well, I can beat up somebody, so hell yeah, I want a guy that can beat up somebody too. We'll beat them up together.
It's like a nuclear weapon. It's like we would never use a nuclear weapon, but like people need to know it's there. You know, like people, in order to act right, people need to know it's there. Because at the end of the day, look, guys are the way we are. I'm very much of the opinion that as human beings, you know, we know what it means when we say we're human. We live in this UN corporate sterilized society where we're going to pretend like we're all robots. We're all like girl-friendly robots. Hi, like I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to kill anyone. I don't want to punch anybody. I just want full consent, and I just want to sign on the dotted line and push a button and get my green bean cube food. I want to get my Soylent Green. When in reality, human beings are very disturbed and twisted and sick. And we have like, you know, you think about like an Oedipus complex, like modern Reddit people would say, that's f***ed up. Oh, he wanted to f*** his mom. That's f***ed up. And it's like, but that's how human beings are. Human beings are, there is like a deep, disturbing mystery at the center of our existence, which is the tension between good and evil.
Nah, I don't know. This nigga said, fuck your mom. You would want to fuck your mom. What? That's crazy. See, everything he said up until that point like made sense. Like the socialization of uh the indoctrination through socialization of young boys, like to be nice and robotic, like he said, you feel me, and like and kind of be a goody two shoes, you know what I'm saying? Especially like in school with teachers trying to influence young boys to be like, I guess I'd say, more passive for a better word. But people really are like dark and twisted and have ulterior motives and their own intentions, uh, in different circumstances. But being as dark to like want to commit incest, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, even as a a young boy, like, that's like weird. Like, even before you even really know about like sex and stuff like that, you know that you don't do that with your family. That's that's weird. That's weird.
between soul and flesh, and to sort of hand wave all that away and say, like, we all just need to be nice to each other. It ignores our nature, and that it makes everybody unhappy.
I think we should be meaner to each other.
I agree.
I think that we have gotten too tolerant as a
Totally.
society. I would like to see intolerance.
Mm,
I would like to
yes.
see an increase in judgmentalness.
Yeah.
I would like to see a more judgmental society. I would like to
That's also fair. People have become less judgmental with all of the misspeaking, I would say, in terms of certain derogatory terms, like the fat phobic movement. Like, you can't be judgmental towards fat people. You can't even tell people like they're out of shape. You feel me? You can't even tell people to, or try and influence people to live like a more healthy life if they're overweight. You feel me? People believe that you should just let them live however they want. And same with like the promiscuity issue, like with the slut walk and stuff like that. You can't even call women who are super promiscuous or acting like hoes. You can't even call them like hoes or sluts and stuff like that. Like, or somebody's gonna have some problem with it and say you're just being like overly masculine or judgmental, when actually being judgmental assists people that's being judged to critique their behavior in a way that's more suitable to fit in a more well structured society. You feel me? Like, if everybody's just running around doing what they want, then things get really messy. You feel me? And the messier it gets, it's harder for us as people to like dig out of that mess for the people that do actually want to live a more traditional lifestyle, or live a more, you know what I mean, like private life. You feel me? Because even the hoes out here not being private about it. Like, if you a hoe, you feel me, and you like keeping that to yourself, like, as much as you can, because people will talk. You feel me? But if you like at least respecting yourself enough to like try and keep that under wraps, you feel me, like behind closed doors, or if you are a fat person, you feel me, and you don't want people calling you fat, like, I don't know what to say about the fat people. Like, y'all tripping. Like, you really think being obese is a healthy way of living, then you're actually just delusional. That's a whole nother thing. But the sluts, like, some of them hoes just can't help it, or may have went through certain traumatic experiences in their life that made them feel that that's okay, or some of them may have grown up under the tutelage of these more promiscuous women, and just think it's okay, like it's just a way of life. You feel me? And they just living how they know how to live. But I don't know, it's a lot that goes into all those things. But people being judgmental and being able to critique your behavior allows you to take a second look at what you're doing and really analyze what it is for what it is, and kind of at least help you accept it for what it is if you're going to keep doing it, or come to a realization that, okay, this isn't beneficial for me. This isn't beneficial for my family or people around me. You know what I mean? Because if you're like a super promiscuous woman, you're probably having kids out of wedlock. If you're a obese or overweight person, you're probably dealing with a bunch of health issues. You know what I mean? And it's just causing more issues for yourself that the people that are around you will also kind of deal with some sort of effect from. So I think being judgmental towards people is actually a very helpful tool. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to bully people, but people should be more accepting of constructive criticism, I would say.
To see more outcasts. I would even go as far as to maybe a banishing here and there. I think that would be fun. Banish.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with that. Like, people who just like not doing right, like I said, it affects the people around you. So it would make sense for them to banish you if you're like just not gonna get right. You feel me? If you accept what you're doing as is what it is, and you're gonna continue to keep doing it, all while it's affecting the people that are the closest to you, like, you shouldn't want that to affect them. So you should just want to, you know what I'm saying, leave, go out and do your own thing if that's what you're gonna do. So the banishing or disconnecting from people, like, I agree with that. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, if people gonna do what's worse for them, thinking that it's what's best for them, you just have to do what's best for you and cut that cut that person off. You know what I mean? And let them figure out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they're gonna figure out, however they need to. You can't just wait around wasting your time away. You feel me? Because time is the most precious thing that you have in this lifetime. So to waste it on someone who's just not gonna listen or take your advice, or you know what I mean, especially in terms of something that's as extreme as being like, I don't know, bro.
Banish from society. And more, I got the judgmental, the outcast.
More roughhousing.
Yeah, I do think that men should beat each other up more. I feel like there's a lot of kids that
That's
need to.
the only thing that you said that I agree with.
I think there should be.
Men
There it
should
is.
fight more.
I think that
Men and women should fight more.
I think that there are a lot of men and women as children that needed to be more and needed to get their ass beat on both sides. On both sides. Women, it should be more of a verbal thing, you know, because that's how we bully. For men, it should be more of a physical. I do believe in because it teaches you.
Okay, but respectful. There is not okay.
I mean, we shouldn't be like having people commit that, like, you know, that's obviously too
But
far.
I do agree with the fact that it builds character.
Yes.
Just there has to be a line. It can't go too far. And some people can't handle both.
Well, we should raise them so they can.
That's fair.
We just have to be okay with like bad things. I feel like the old school mentality is just sort of like this resignation and acceptance about the way of the world, and then there's this liberal attitude that's like we have to fix everything, every crime, every, you know, it's like in the old days, if people were not behaving the way they were supposed to, like horrible things would happen. Or some people are just very unlucky, you know, they just like lose the genetic lottery and they just have like a bad, sad life. And I feel like the old school mentality is like, that's just how it is. What are we going to do? They'd have all these old expressions. It's like, hey, you know, like a little kid drowned in the lake. Shouldn't have been playing by the lake. Maybe that was just God's plan. You know, nowadays it's like, we need to put a fence and we need to do this and we need to do that as an analogy with everything. Even like with the sex stuff.
Not a good example.
It's like with the sex
lake
stuff.
And then a fence putting up.
That's what they want to do. They want to put a fence around every
if you
lake.
could prevent another child from drowning in the lake, why would you not put up a fence?
Because some kids are going to drown, okay? And that's just the way of the world. We got to let them
But if they
drown.
don't have to drown, why would we let them drown?
We cannot prevent every bad outcome.
You can try.
To an extent.
But see, this is like a female versus male view on the world, because women, like, I feel like naturally we want to protect the kid, where the men are like, you know, like
them keys.
no, but this is like, because the men are more disciplined. Like they look like, that's why you see all these like men from single mother homes committing all these crimes, because they didn't have a dad to kick their ass. Like the women, oh poor baby, we need to make sure.
I don't know. Listen, a lot of the kids I know that grew up in single mother homes, because if the mother felt like they had to overcompensate, would beat their kids at, like they would go above and beyond because they feel like they have to overcompensate and go harder and be more disciplinary than if a man was in the house. I'm not saying that it makes up for not having a father figure. That is a huge loss in the development.
But
On that point, I would say women do maybe sometimes overcompensate, but that's not the majority. Most women aren't really violent in that way. You know what I mean? In terms of disciplining their kids, a lot of women, especially when like young boys get older, like once a young boy reaches around like 13, like that's gonna start going out of the window because by the time he's like 14, 15, typically he's gonna be bigger than his mother, and there's absolutely nothing that she could do at that point. You know what I mean? Other than talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And also, um, a lot of women may do that in regards to things that they deem to be important, but maybe certain other, you know what I mean, issues and instances, they would let it slide or maybe coddle the child, you feel me? But they would, you know what I'm saying, go crazy over something that she feels is actually, you know what I'm saying, important in her opinion specifically. So that's what I'll say on that.
at the end of the day, a young boy, he's not going to be afraid of getting beat up by his mom.
Yes, yes.
You think?
That's what I'm saying. You feel me? Like by the time he's like, bro, by the time he's like 13, 14, he's looking over his mom. You feel me? Even if his mom is big, you know what I'm saying? A 14, 15-year-old boy, his body is going to be built different than a woman's body. You feel me? It's not much damage or harm that she would be able to inflict upon him to make him want to change his ways. You know what I'm saying? Even if she is disciplining him at that point, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a point where he's going to do what he wants to do if there's no male influence or role model around to keep him in check, pretty much.
Girl. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, what's the mom really gonna do?
When
at
you're-
the end of the day, what's the mom really
Get the
gonna
wooden
do?
spoon.
Like,
I got the wooden spoon once.
That's the Italian way.
That is the Italian
I
way.
mean, my mom hit me with a wooden spoon or two.
I got it once.
I had temper tantrums when I was a kid. Yeah.
I was well behaved for the most part.
We had too many kids. It was like we all wanted the attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it was like sometimes we'd act up, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we have too much of like a rules-based society. It's gone too far towards the maternal, towards the lunar, towards the chthonic, towards those things. We need to go back towards fire. We need to go back towards chaos. That's like what the world wants. That's like what ISIS is about. That's what Trump is about. The world wants a burning. The world wants burning right now. And we're gonna
I don't know what he means by that because the world is, you know what I'm saying, headed towards chaos. You feel me? For the past couple years, like it seems like the world has been getting a little more chaotic. You know what I mean? A lot of kids uh 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 are dealing in gang activities. A lot of kids are, or at least young people are having kids out of wedlock. People don't really know how to cooperate with each other nowadays. A lot of people don't know how to be in relationships, healthy relationships. A lot of young people today are toxic, even adults. You know what I mean? A lot of people in general today are pretty toxic to each other, and a lot of people are even toxic to themselves. So I don't know what he means right there. I feel like the chaos has already begun. You feel me? And it's just gonna get worse from here before it gets better, in my opinion.
We're gonna give it to him. We're gonna provide
in
that.
the instant when men are not thinking with their big heads and they're saying, "Oh, whoa, she's half naked, great, I'm going to go for it." That might be what a man wants, but long term, that's not what a man doesn't want. A girl that's just going to be naked all the time and put herself out there, available for every man to see. You know that I don't have to be a man to know that that's not what men want. So then you say men suck, and I ask this question all the time. You complain about men, but are you being the type of a woman that a man would want?
In facts, she used a Kevin Samuels line right there. Are you what men want? I believe a lot of women may may think that for a long term relationship, a man just wants like a freak. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that a lot of girls think that a man may want a freak for a long term relationship, or for marriage. You feel me? Because they think that's the main thing that men look at. I don't think it's necessarily the main thing. I think it's the first thing that they look at because the first thing that we see with our eyes. You know what I'm saying? Your behavior and your looks. Well, not your behavior. Your behavior has to be monitored and paid attention to more over time. You feel me? To get a better understanding of who you are, but based on your looks, and if you are interested, you know what I'm saying, and you look good enough, a man will of course entertain you. That's like an automatic. You feel me? But once you get in the actual relationship and you've been together for like, you know what I mean, let's say like a few months, you know what I'm saying, and the relationship starts to stagnate and it's not really going anywhere because the whole time the relationship was based off, you know what I'm saying, that first sexual interaction. A lot of people end up feeling stuck, or girls may get ghosted because the guy feels like, okay, this isn't really like my wife. You feel me? Like, if you want to be in a long term relationship with a man and in hopes of a ring, you feel me, or in pursuit of a ring, you don't hope for it, you pursue it. You feel me? Because eventually, if you're doing the right things, you're gonna get the outcome that you want. Yeah, based off that first sexual interaction, you know what I'm saying? It'll get you in the door definitely, but your behavior, your actions, your decision making, the way you treat the man, all of these things will assist in your pursuit of that ring so that you could get the outcome that you want overall. If it is what you want, a family and a husband and kids, you feel me? So don't just move based off the first interaction, or just think just because you give a man your body, he owes you like some type of commitment. It doesn't work like that. Something that Myron from Fashion Fit says a lot. One thing that I do agree with: sex is like a handshake. You know what I'm saying? It's like that spiritual exchange. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically a mutual thing. You can't think just because you're giving a man your body that you're only giving him your body, because he's actually giving you his body as well. You feel me? Hence the term of a handshake. You feel me? You're doing it to each other, so you can't expect him to owe you something for that.
Right? It's a self-perpetuating problem. And then you say that, and they, oh my God, Cancer's a horrible human being. And I'm looking at you going, I'm not a dude. I wouldn't date you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so again, self-perpetuating problem. Not enough women calling out the fact that women are not desirable right now, in my opinion. Right? They're sexually desirable, but I wouldn't want to take you home to mom desirable.
And that's exactly what I just said. You know what I mean? Sexually desirable, but would I take you to meet my mom and my grandma and stuff like that? Like, okay, I like the way you look. That's first step. Okay, let's have a conversation. Talk a little bit, get to know each other. Okay, that's the next step. Okay, step after that. Maybe end up having sex. You know what I'm saying? If you don't continue to get to know each other, and and get a ring before that. A lot of people don't do that anymore. A lot of people just meet. You like the way each other look, converse, have a conversation, get to know each other a little bit, and oftentimes, you know what I'm saying, it'll lead to that sexual exchange. But your behavior, the way you act, and all of those things will determine whether or not you will like meet my mom and meet my family and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a respect thing at the end of the day. Not that he doesn't respect you. He just may not he may just understand that you're not that one. You feel me? To be taken to his mom's house to meet everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll make him look crazy.
And then you have men who are being hit over the stick and being told, man, bad, masculinity, bad, who need to be told, no, stand up, tuck your shirt in, right? Be a leader, be what a man is supposed to be. And that dies when we're not even allowed to say man and woman anymore. And I could rant though.
No, Candace.
Yeah, I agree. I think the men got to be men. And that's patriarchy. The real red pill is that patriarchy is real and it's a good thing and we should want it. We got to let the guys be guys. And right now, the other thing too with education specifically is the education system's run by women. Like, I don't know about you, but when you're in like grade school, it's all female teachers.
So I think it's 80 to 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole across the board. And it all caters towards women. There's no like, hey, let the boys be boys. Let them do their thing. Like when you talk about even bullying, the roughhousing is very much part of the male experience. The roughhousing, the trash talk, all of that. And when you strip all that away and make everybody like a good boy or whatever, you're turning them into these like emasculated, neutered guys who can't do any. And we're not even talking about like they can't make war. They also can't make symphonies. They also can't create philosophy. They also can't invent things. You're cutting off like the fundamental attribute of masculinity, which is like this reaching out, what you would call risk-taking, adventurousness, and so it's an anti-male society. That's why it's going away. That's why it's disappearing.
You have any final thoughts?
I never thought I would sit down and have a conversation with a known, but here we are. Thanks for having me, Pearl.
Thanks for coming on.
Nick, I wish I had nicer things to say. All I have to say is, black men, I love you.
Bro, she funny as hell. They be saying Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist. I don't know enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know enough information about Nick or have ever seen his content to assume that he's a white supremacist. He has his own opinions and things like that. He wants his white wife. You know what I'm saying? He said he dates black women or has dated black women before. So I don't know. The internet make up their own narratives, and people just kind of run with what they see on these titles and thumbnails and stuff like that.
Love you.
I love black people too, but stick with your own.
And my black women.
See? He talking about stick with your own. You feel me? Like he say he'll date a black girl, but he wouldn't marry a black girl. He wants to marry a white girl. You feel me? And I can't be mad at him for saying that. Like, that's not abnormal. You know what I'm saying? It's very common for people to marry within their own race. I'm not mad at him for that. You feel me?
What do you think about Ye? Do you think he was wrong for his new wife?
Yeah, and I told him that.
Oh yeah?
Mhm.
How did he react?
He said like she's really hot. and he said that she's an architect and they relate on that level, and but I also think that he is like a genius. He's clearly like a top tier human being on earth, like in history. And I also feel like when it comes to people like that, the rules just don't even really apply. When I think about the top tier people in the world in history.
Well, it's kind of like the top tier women were being like, wouldn't they kind of be, wouldn't they be offered to like other leaders? Maybe I'm wrong, but wouldn't they be offered to other leaders as like a way to bring countries together?
Yeah.
So
all the time.
Top tier women, meaning as in looks. You feel me? Like as in beauty. You know what I'm saying? That's what she means. Not like women working and getting a lot of money. She means like the most beautiful women would be offered to certain individuals to bring peace amongst countries or alliance and stuff like that.
So they kind of were the first like mixing.
Maybe Australia and America
Yeah.
coming together under a united presidency. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but but it's his life, and also 11 great studio albums. You can kind of do whatever you want at that point. I'm fine with it.
Well, I wish you luck, and
I don't wish luck to.
Oh, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit. But listen, but it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just
Bro, at the end of the day, everybody's a little bit racist. You feel me? I don't think there's too many people that aren't actually racist. You feel me? What is racist? The belief that race accounts for difference in human character or ability, and that a particular race is superior to the other, discrimination or prejudice. Okay, so the first half of that is kind of true. The belief that the race accounts for difference. Wait, the belief that race accounts for difference in human character. Nah, I can't agree with that. Hell nah. Character, no. Characteristics, yes. But character, no. Like, of course, we know black people are the best athletes. Of course, we know like Asians are the best at like math and shit like that. Of course, you know what I'm saying? We can name some stuff that certain races are better at. That certain races are better than others. You know what I'm saying? In certain categories. I don't think that necessarily makes you racist. I think the prejudice part makes you racist. You know what I mean? And assuming that stereotyping a person based off their skin color is pretty racist as well.
This is real. This is real. It's a part of us. So hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a. Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you. Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
Tell an Italian guy about your affinity for. That'll go over real well. Maybe some brajol. There's some Italian.
No,
for
but
you.
I will make my some of that.
Ugh, wow.
You know, that's not what I really meant with the final thoughts.
That was a final attack.
I just really want time.
Okay, that's fine. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. Thank you both of you for coming. Appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next time.
Alright, y'all, that was another video, you feel me? If you like that, want to see some more content like this, make sure you leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you want to. I mean, I ain't forcing nobody, but it is free to support. I mean, free support is the best support. You know what I'm saying? It won't cost you nothing but a click of a button. But alright, y'all. Peace.